Hey, can I flip my camera? I can. Let me see. Ooh. Hey, say something if you can hear me. Put it in the chat. Let me turn this around. Hey, let me see. Put it in the chat for me. Can y'all hear me? Cause I'm on my phone. And I don't know if my signal all that good out here. But put something in the chat if you can hear me. Let me see. All right. Prince Nakeem, what up? Maurice, what's good? Ashley Elizabeth, what's happening? What's going on? Yeah, everybody click the thumbs up button real fast. Yeah. So, um, LaRonda from Compton. From Compton, what's happening? Compton. I guess some of y'all call it Bompton. What's going on? All the way in. Ashley Elizabeth, you good? That's what's up. That's what's up, man. It's been a long day. Thumbs up, everybody that come in. Thumbs up, so we can alert the algorithm, man. Kitchen Conjure. I do, but it's not even advertised. I don't even have a website anymore. So I got a membership where people get monthly astro reports from me. What up, Tanisha? Um, they get monthly astro reports from me, right? And stupid old school price. I don't even want to mention how cheap it is, right? So it's like $19.99, and they just simply get an astro report. And then I had a family wealth club where we deal with real estate and just money making opportunities. Um, and then, so that's like once a month. And then we also have a webinar to deal more with the spiritual stuff. You know what I mean? Like, for example, August 22nd, a couple days ago, the sun just went into Virgo season. So when it's Virgo season, this is the time that deals with the intestines. Really understanding what that is, understanding what great herbal things to take to help with the intestines, such as wormwood or black walnut hull or clove, things of that nature. And for 30 days, it's really more of a internal meditative journey on you cleansing. Usually this time of year, this is when if I would get a colonics done, this is the time where I would get a colonics done, because this is the time of year that governs your intestines. And so I would flush my intestines out at this time of year. And so in the wealth club, in the aspect, so it's basically two memberships in a sense that I really rolled into one. Those that's more on the money making side, they get a conversation, and then everybody get the conversation on the spiritual side. But on those personal reports, people that just came for the money, they don't get the personal report. But people who get the personal report, they get that and whatnot. So again, it's not even something that's available, to be honest with you, right now, simply because I'm doing something totally new, just something totally new. And I don't even know if I'm going to advertise that per se, where I'll probably tell people to look at it, but they may have to inquire to even get inside of it and whatnot. And it's more of a mission that's dealing with Just really taking a spiritual journey. You know what I mean? Like really a spiritual journey and whatnot. You know, if you look at, like I've been spending a lot of time, like I'll change my camera. So, I've been spending a lot of time. This is where I pray at, tapping into this feminine energy. Um, I clean this place out to the best of my ability. Those roses up there, the real roses, I put those there and whatnot. And that was simply because I was sitting here and, that voice that comes to me told me to keep this place up. Because if I show you in there, there's brown leaves in there. And that easily tells me that's from last year and whatnot. So they keep the grounds, beautiful grounds, as you may can see. And I'll walk around, but beautiful grounds that's well kept, but nobody's really keeping up the grotto. What up, Monica? Nobody's keeping up the grotto. And so I'm really more, studying miracles heavily, dealing with the Franciscan orders, the friars, and things of that nature, and understanding what it took to really put something together where we can journey for the rest of our lives and really use this earthly experience as a tool of perfection and not necessarily a, one-hit thing in a sense, if that makes sense to you. And so, long story short, I'll have something, but I'm never going to ask anybody to join. I may tell you that, hey, there's a new website and you have to inquire. And I put an application in with a very old ancient mystic order that they don't do absolutely no advertising. And you either mail them or email them. And at the end of the communication, they always tell you, this is the last time you're going to hear from us unless you reach out to us. And so they're not in the business of soliciting people. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm in that place of I'm not trying to solicit. I believe certain people are on a certain level and you can read about it. I may say, hey, this is the new site, and you can take it from there and inquire about it, because the things that I know I have to offer are really some things that took me years of practice. You know what I'm saying? And for me now to formulate that in one spot, it's not necessarily a 30-day class. It's none of that. I'm not doing no 28-day challenges. Me personally, I've just grown past that. You know what I'm saying? It's more about, let's take a walk so I can tell you what this is about. I can show you what this is about. Um, when you come to establishments like this, where it's pretty much a monastery and a nursing home that take care of people, you know what I mean? And they bury their own people, and when they have trees, they dedicate the trees to somebody. You know what I'm saying? All hail, beautiful, wonderful light. We give praise to you, beautiful, wonderful light of the Creator. But how do you put something together that's going to transcend, time? You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about. You know what I mean? And, grabbing properties and, giving us a place where we can come for life. You know what I mean? You see the Christ up there, the Christ figure. Very interesting because they had this thing perfectly facing east. I mean, perfectly. Very curious on the equinox to see how this line up. But you see Christ and you see the sun right there. And the sun is in the western portion of the sky now. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like perfectly aligned and whatnot. But yeah, for sure, Monica, that's where it's at. Studying the miracles, man. I'm gonna tell you who a monster, man. Saint Benedict the Moor. Oh my God, man. It's this YouTube channel I think called like 99 Catholics, and it's a it's a woman commentary, real just real dope and educational. They're not long videos. Um, Saint Benedict the Moor was a black dude. He's actually the patron saint for all of Sicily. You know what I'm saying? Um, and people were allegedly dead, and he prayed over them and came back to life on at least two occasions that I seen in the study. And he was somebody who was an advocate of the Mother Mary, the feminine energy, the feminine soul. So he's really tapped into that. So Saint Benedict the Moor was one of the ones. Saint Charbel, somebody who died and his body was sweat and was still bleeding many years after his death. Like, this stuff is documented, you know what I mean? So we be on there, and I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm gonna share a good resource with you guys. You know what I'm saying? A good resource would be the Compendium of the Miraculous. Nothing but a whole bunch of miracles and things on the record. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's where the study is at. If we want to get into the power of the mind and just power of that current of energy that comes through, I'm gonna see if I can find a highlight that I put in this particular book that was like, oh, I never hear nobody teach about this. Let me see. Charismatic phenomenon, ecstasy. Saint Francis was a beast. Saint Clare was another one who studied up under Francis. This book literally said a whole lot of women have became the recipient of this energy as well. I would have to find it. Specific phenomenon. I gotta figure out what. But yeah, that's what I'm on right now, though. And so, anyway, as you can see, this is a replica of the Lady of Lourdes, and this is Bernadette. This, this is obviously the grotto. You know what I mean? So I spend many a nights out here on this bench. It ain't long enough for the fat boy to go to sleep on and whatnot, but I spend many a nights out here, days out here in prayer, contemplation, and whatnot. But that's Bernadette when she had the apparition of Mary right there. And like I said, that's in my own backyard. And it was just phenomenal, man, because, I was sitting here, and the first time I ever met somebody here was a sister nun in the facility right here. She came out, and she, again, those roses that you saw, like I had put roses here and whatnot. And I was just, making sure, you always ask for a sign of confirmation. And the lady came out, the nun came out, and she said her name was Rosemary. And I'm like, what's your name again? She said, Rosemary. And I got a picture of her too. And I took a picture with her and whatnot. And then she's like, my mom name is Bernadette. Cause I told her, like, man, me and my partner, we just did we did this, video webinar talking about, the healing of, Bernadette at Lourdes. And she was like, my mom name is Bernadette. And my mom took me to Lourdes. And I think it was like 11 children, and mom can only take one. And they all said, mom, take Rosemary. And they end up taking her. So even this rosary that I have right here, there's a bubble inside of it. You can see that bubble inside the heart. That's because that's a water bubble that comes from Lourdes. And so, I got some little water bottles about this big too that came in from Lourdes as well. That just came in the other day. And it's just really been phenomenal, to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? To be right here and, You pray, and a woman named Rosemary come out, and say her mom named Bernadette. She been to Lourdes and everything, and then there's a grave right here, and it's a sister by the name of Mary Rose, which is the opposite of Rosemary. Then when I looked up her birthday was August 21st, but that's like Trill Alchemy birthday, and she had been dealing with a lot of roses lately. She's been dealing with, Mary Magdalene, and I didn't even tell her I was, on some rose stuff. I didn't even say nothing. You know what I mean? But when I seen that person die on her birthday, and I know she was dealing with roses, I would have been bogus not to, tell her what the experience was and what the message was and whatnot. And so I got something coming soon to go back to that question about the membership. It's something that's coming for sure. You know what I mean? But I think we need to understand some basics of something known as the great work, which what the soul is here to do. I think we absolutely have to understand transmutation, because that's definitely major, where you transform your lower self into your higher self, basically. You transform your negative emotions into one of love, peace, and just all the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And trying your best to stay on your square. And it's okay if you come up short. You're going to come up short, and that's fine. But being able to learn the lesson, like, for example, right? And it's just me being transparent with y'all, right? Like, I'm in a deal right now on some real estate stuff. Well, we're supposed to buy 4 houses, and we agreed to buy 4, but only found a buyer for 2. And so I couldn't find a buyer for the other 2. And that's $10,000 a piece on a down payment, so that's $20,000. And we wanted to cancel too late, and so they want to, they want the deposit, you know. And you can try to sue me for it. You can't make me pay you. You can try to sue me. But truth be told, you know what I mean? Even when a judgment comes and say, okay, pay this person, you still can't make me pay you. It's just going to be a judgment that's. And, if I wanted to really be like that, I can just dissolve the business. And after this transaction, I dissolved the business. The business is now defunct and ain't even in existence no more. There's absolutely no remedy for you. You know what I'm saying? And so I could do that. And so me and the guy was talking today, the seller, and we was talking about the other properties, and I needed to switch title companies, and because it was just they wasn't used to this kind of transaction that was being done. And we almost talking about a 6-figure check, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Almost 6 figures. And so it wasn't the title company wasn't familiar, but we ended up figuring out how to make it work. And then he called me about the properties that need the deposit, and then he asked me would I be open to paying that fee out of our check that's coming. And I go, yeah, yes, that's a possibility. You know what I mean? Like, without divulging too much information, I had to, let some people go on my team because of that issue right there. Would you be willing to do 10,000, 5,000 for each property? And he's like, no, that man, it just wouldn't make sense for me. He said, is that understandable? I said, listen, if that's what you say, I'm about transparency. So if that's what you say, I'm not going to sit up here and tell you and ask you, well, explain it to me so I can see why it don't make sense. If that's what it is for you, that's just what it is for you. Now, I had prayed on it and whatnot and wanted to go another way because this is $20,000 that's about to be short some money that's coming to me and my team. You know what I'm saying? And so, in the essence, it would have been, we dividing it by 5, so it probably would have been an extra 4,000 in my pocket at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And so, to speed it up, man, when I look at situations like this, like I was a dude that robbed a corner store before. You know what I'm saying? I was a dude in the dope game that owe my plug $1,000 from the dope game. You know what I mean? Like, I've been on the other side where I done robbed for money. I done made crack babies for money. You know what I'm saying? That torments me, knowing that I made a crack baby without a shadow of a doubt. This ain't no theory. Well, I don't know how the baby turned out to be, but I remember, you know, I always say I had this little rap that, Missy was pregnant and she wanted crack badly. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember having to make a decision. Is she gonna go get it from somebody else? And she's crying, please. And me and my man, we was a partner. We was partners in this thing. So we used to tell the dope fiends we spick and span. You know what I'm saying? So I was spick and he was span. And they like, please spick, please. She crying tears. And I'm like, nope, I ain't giving you none. Nope. And I didn't stand on that. I didn't stand on that. But, it wasn't a whole year later that somebody came in and wore a wire, and you know what I'm saying, and I caught charges behind that. You know what I'm saying? And so I would like to think that, that was, karma for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because my spiritual vision I didn't have none. You know what I mean? It was somewhat there because I was teeter-tottering if I should sell it to her or not. But, I let my lower nature get me. You know what I'm saying? And who knows how that child turned out. So when I have these little financial hiccups like this, you know what I'm saying? Just because I really wasn't on top of my game and micromanaging the whole situation and whatnot, it's a 20,000 thing. It equates to 4,000 on me, 4,000 on my partners and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I quickly go to a place of, have I ever did anything to deserve such a thing? And if I can answer that I have, I can't be mad. Like, how I'm gonna sit up here with an attitude and see, this is what happened. We lie to ourselves all the time. Only if you can identify. Like, if I can authentically identify that I was bogus on money, and I don't even know how drugs affected the community when I was selling drugs. I just know that, what I saw was a woman that was pregnant. We don't know, like, the stuff that people could have stole out of the houses and stuff, that, and all that kind of stuff, what the overall effect was. But if I can realize that I was bogus somewhere in my development, in my life, you understand what I'm saying? Then I'm going to accept whatever I got coming with me and eat that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no different. I remember, man, I got my 79 Malibu. I had a 1979 two-door, they call it the G-Body 2, the G-Body style Malibu. You know what I'm saying? Had a 305 in it. Bad boy was clean, white with the brown stripe and shit, right? But that was one of the first cars I bought when I was hustling. But that car ended up getting stolen. And we end up seeing that car. My people put me on to, like, they think they seen it. They took it to the chop shop and they changed some things around. But I knew because on Chevys is just, with Chevys, they got this problem with one of the parking lights be out. You know what I'm saying? And so I knew it was my car and whatnot. And so back then we had a Glock 17, which was a 45 automatic pistol. You know what I'm saying? And I pull it out and I'm about to start shooting at the dude. And my man in the front seat, Meek, he from New York, legend in Brooklyn. If you from Brooklyn, and back in the day when they spray paint heavy, you used to see Meek everywhere in Brooklyn. Dude's, legend on that. He with me because he had moved down here. He like, no, 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 no. And he literally stopped me from shooting. But when I contemplate on it, you know what I'm saying? And I knew who dude was too. I actually went to middle school with dude that was driving the car. Now, whether he stole it or not, I don't know. You know what I mean? But I also remember, like, again, have I done anything bogus? Like, some certain things just come with the game. You know what I'm saying? You in a certain game, a certain lifestyle would come with that. So when certain things pop up, I can't be sitting up here mad, lying to myself, $20,000, and he ain't want to take it, sue me then, and play this game, which I can, you know what I mean? But I know morally, internally, it wouldn't be correct. And so when you get on this mission, man, you start righting your wrongs. You know what I'm saying? Because, I guess for a killer, they'll tell you that, you gonna see that face for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna haunt you. You know what I mean? That them teardrop tattoos is really real. You know what I mean? You're gonna be crying for the rest of your life internally. You're gonna be hunted. You know what I mean? And so, saying all that to say, man, transmutation is very important because I had to learn how to transmute. And so, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I'm about to make 5 figures out of from what? What I make 5 figures for doing? You know what I mean? If I really told you how I do it, how I did it, you know what I mean? You're gonna be like, what? Like literally, I told my nephew you should do real estate back in 2012. He like just now getting around to it, wanted to do some wholesale. He spent $500. I don't even think it was that. To be honest with you, I think it was $250, $250. And I got him a list. Got him a list of properties, and on that list, my guy's text message, the homeowner, hey, you want to sell your house? The guy hit back, said he want to sell his house. Once the people reply to the text and say they want to hit, now my partner, DJ, he steps in and then he negotiates the pricing and locks it in, right? And so now he locks it in. Now he also gonna get on the phone and start looking for buyers, calling realtors. Hey, you got any buyers that may be interested? Yep, they gonna charge us $10,000 on top of that. All right, cool, ain't no problem. We stand to make 90 something thousand. We can stand to make give you 10. You gonna bring a buyer? We'll walk with 80 something. It's all good. You know what I mean? And so now he's doing that. So he's on that part, and then once the contracts are signed from our buyer, I send the contracts off to the title company, and then I'm the one that's communicating with the title company. If my man, he be all over the place, and he'll step in my lane and start communicating with him, and I just let him do his thing. But anyway, so it's my idea, get the list. So the money generated really came from an idea, and then I just coordinate with the title company. This thing gonna close on time, things of that. What do you need? You need some LLC documents, whatever the case may be. Here go the documents, and sit back and get a check. But my partner do all the negotiating in between, and sometimes got to talk to the seller more than once about certain stuff. And so what did I really do? You understand what I'm saying? And so how I'm going to really be tripping at the end of the day that is 20,000 short. You know what I mean? Because we didn't fulfill that particular end or cancel that contract in between time, on top of me just understanding my own individual journey. You understand what I'm saying? And so, you just take that one with a grain of salt. And the moment that you learn how to be, for me, being submissive, meaning simply being in a position to be able to receive, you know what I mean, and totally accept. Like I got something else going on where I got 6 figures that's about to hit my paycheck, about to hit my checking account. You know what I'm saying? Because I got property. So now, refinancing and shit like that. But that's paying off 6 figures on that. You see what I'm saying? And so, like, am I really gonna be, like that's being greedy? And you know, and I'm just saying, man, listen, man, I'm just sharing with you. I'm just being transparent with you. You know what I mean? Like, the realtor, right? A realtor stepped in with the buyer because we got to him before he agreed to sell the property and put it on the market. So he let her know, and she wanted to get in, and the price went up like 16,000 as soon as she jumped in the mix. No problem, it's enough money for everybody, right? What up, Mike P? And so I ain't really tripping. And so we not gonna close these 2 deals right here, and we ain't put the deposit down. So she's being a stickler about the deposit and whatnot. And so I'm a paraphrase what the opening line is, and I told her, I said something like this: Dear Joanna, please read the following with what I say. Please read the following from a perspective of allowing the better angels of our higher nature and with a touch of compassion. It's obvious that we ran into some problems where we can't purchase these 2 deals, hence the $20,000 deposit isn't in there. Isn't in escrow. I said to spare you the details of what happened. That's, it's really none of your concern in that sense because it's not your problem. But we would like to cancel these two contracts. All the title company needs is a release for, both of us agreeing that, we release from the obligation of purchasing these properties and whatnot. And then she replies back and says, I'm sorry that you guys are going through some things, but I represent the seller, and we're going to pursue the earnest deposits, and I hope to see you Friday at closing. Right? Just totally disregard my beautiful poetic open line of lay on the angels of your better nature and read this with compassion. I'm begging you to have compassion upon me. I don't want to lose this 20,000, but I got somebody that's a real estate agent and this is business, and I totally get that. That's looking like, well, shit, 20,000, 3% of that, you know what I'm saying? Whatever that equates to, what's 3% of 20,000? 10% is what, 2,000, so 3%, you know what I'm saying? And that ain't nothing but an extra $600, you know what I'm saying, in her pocket. You know what I mean? And the owner, the seller, which is the owner, he was even willing to let it go until he communicated with her, and she like, well, they owe you this money. I mean, and so you know, and I'm just looking at it like, here's the question I had to myself: have you ever been money hungry and done the wrong things for money? Cause she's in law, she's doing her, and by due bounds, she's within her due bounds to do what she do. Like, we really owe the deposits. She don't gotta be like, okay, you guys didn't do it, we just gonna, scrap it and get it out of here. You know what I mean? So she's within her due bounds. But have you ever been bogus with money? And I have been bogus. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you know what I mean? Again, that could be my own. Who's to say that ain't my own karma coming back? You know what I'm saying? So I just chalk it up. She's not at that space where she want to have compassion. It's about the money. And if you know me, you know that I've taken a long time off from spiritual conversations and talks like that and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Where it's more about um, it's more about compassion, and but there should be a bridge, and that's what I really strive to do. Like, I want to do business that feels good, that feel good to me, because the lesson before this one, I had my partners, I had to show them what it like, learn how to do stuff that feel good, because we had a guy who he didn't want to do business with us. We was in contract to buy one house, and then he had an apartment building. I was trying to go after the apartment building. My partner put it out there a little too early and said we had the apartment building in contract, and we didn't have the apartment in contract. And then he got word that my partner said we had it in contract, and so he said, forget about it. I ain't gonna sell you this apartment building. I ain't gonna even show it to you. That was distasteful that he would say that you guys had it in contract, and you didn't. And I'm gonna tell people not to do business with you, is what he said. Now, we already in contract to buy a house from him, but he gonna tell people not to do business with us. So do you think he really wanna do business with us with the house that we have right here? No, he doesn't. He don't wanna do business with us, but he has to uphold that obligation of the contract, because this ain't got nothing to do with that. But to me, it do, because you said you're gonna tell people not to do business with us. So cool, hold on. I don't even want this business. We can let you out this contract and go ahead. I don't care about the little whatever was gonna be made. I ain't got it right now anyway. So I ain't banking on that. You know what I mean? So I said, let's take it to a vote. And I got, two people on my team. So let's take it to a vote. And it was like, man, he gonna sell it to somebody else. And my other partner's like, man, we need the money, man. I need the money. Let's do it. I said, all right, 2-1. Right? Cool, no problem. So we do the deal. And the guy already got a lender, Kiavi. They got Kiavi hard money lending on the property. But our buyer wants to use Kiavi, and Kiavi don't allow a new person to put a loan on an existing property to buy out their existing loan, which is crazy, but whatever. That's their process. So now this deal won't go through. And there is a $5,000 earnest deposit on this, right? And so now somebody got to come up with this earnest deposit. Who got to pay for that? We end up paying for it, but I end up figuring it out. But I got it. My people put the money up. I told them put up 5. I got a deal that's about to close. I'm gonna pay you back 5,500. So you'll make quick 10% on your money just for putting this money up real fast. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be no more than a month. And within a month, I got them back they 5 grand plus 500 for putting the money up. So now that $5,000 comes out of the business. You see what I'm saying? And so that was a $5,000 lesson. But my people had to learn that lesson, you know what I mean? Because, it ain't about the money all the time. Like this person didn't want to do business with us. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I only gonna do things that feel good. All right. I hope that makes sense, y'all. All right. So I hope I ain't rambling, but I hope that makes sense. I only want to do stuff that feel good. All right. So anyway, Rich Wealthy, what up? Blue Lotus, what's good? What's happening? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You know what I mean? And so, yeah, man, I think we should learn how to bridge that gap, get paid, but I don't want to get paid at the expense of, somebody got a negative experience and, a negative emotion. It's just too much abundance out here for any of that. You know what I'm saying? And, we don't got to do that. Because now I feel like, you know what I mean? Oh, because I need the money, I got to put up with somebody who don't want to deal with me. I'm not your prostitute. Like that feel weird to me. Just because I need money, I got to be in bed with you now. You know what I mean? I got to be in contract with you because I need the money, but you don't want to really be in No, man, I ain't feeling that at all. Like you got the wrong one. Like I'm telling you, man. Y'all think Dame Dash is bad. I'm way worse than Dame Dash. Hence, I ain't really with having a company like that. I believe in partnerships. I don't really believe in creating a company to having employees. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong with that model. I just don't like being an employee, and I don't want employees, especially men, around me because I don't like telling other men what to do. What I gotta tell another man what to do for? That's weird to me. Like I'm not here to tell you what to do. You a man. Do what you gonna do. Now as a partner, we know that hey, this is what you gonna do. You gonna knock this out. You know what I'm saying? I'll get the money to generate the stuff. We gonna go in these markets. Once they hit back, you gonna lock it in and do all the negotiating and whatnot. Take the pictures of the house. Like that's cool. Do your part. You know what I mean? But I ain't with all that employee stuff, man. And I'm not no hoe for no money. All right. All right. Anyway. All right. So can y'all still hear me? Y'all good? Let me see the chat, man. Can y'all still hear me? I'm gonna try to find this. I'm gonna try to find this highlight, man. Oh, here it is. Ooh, I got one that's good. No, it was another one. Yeah, it's right here. Let me see if I can turn it. All right. So this is called Extraordinary Mystical Phenomenon. And they talked about that it was basically 3 sources, right? You got natural theology and whatnot when you like basically studying nature and everything. And then you got dogmatic theology, but this last one was dope. Last, he is found through the soul's secret and direct experience. And this is called mystical theology. Man, where they teach that at? Mystical theology? Man, I ain't seen no mystical theology. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I'm upset with the black church to a degree because there's no body politic that I have seen in the black church, the one that got any miracles on record or any prescriptions on record to heal anything and then investigate that particular healing to be able to classify it as a healing or a miracle. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, just pray and the Lord got it and that's it. You know what I mean? And it's just more of hooping and hollering, in my opinion, than it does dealing with the actual phenomenon of healing. Now, at least from the Catholic standpoint, I had to give them their props because even when you deal with this energy of, Bernadette and Lourdes and the water that comes from here and whatnot, um, they will at least say, hey, you got to have medical documentation. They say that you got this issue. And this issue cannot be cured by medical, modern medical science today. So it can't be no cure in the hospital for it, because if you come to the grotto, how we gonna know you really didn't go to the hospital and get a cure? So it has to be incurable today, right? That's another thing. And then once you come to the grotto and you receive your healing, then we have to investigate that, look at your paperwork, make sure that it's incurable. Then you have to bring new paperwork that's certified and say that you no longer have this incurable thing. And then they sign off on it and deem it a miracle. That is what you will call a thorough scientific analysis before you apply a spiritual phenomenon known as miracle attached to it. And I got to just take my hat off and I have to clap my hands to be diligent in that process, because now it's documented. It's absolutely documented. And so I'm very interested in the mystical theology. That's where it is at, without a shadow of a doubt. And that's going to come through experience, vision, inner knowing, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And so be on the lookout. There's something coming. There's something that's coming soon. In fact, I was actually supposed to start writing it last night. I was sitting here last night, and that was like the little download that I got was start writing out the curriculum. You know what I'm saying? The mission statement and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Because what I really desire to do is just, honestly, man, you can come to a place like this. You know what I'm saying? And we just connect. And we got Ben got the technology that deals with the aura machine, the heart machine, and the technology to be able to gauge our energy. You know what I'm saying? But to be able to get to these little holy places is what it's about in the commune. And so again, like I said too, I'm at a space where it's, if you hit me up on a one-on-one and it's like, hey nigga, I want to get this, I just want to get the energies done. I can create a 3-day experience. You know what I'm saying? It's personal. And maybe it's you and 2 other people tops. So you get on the aura chakra machine and things of that nature. Then we can actually travel to some of these magnetic locations. Some of these locations are just what's called a magnetic anomaly. You know what I'm saying? It's basically a vortex of energy is what it is, and whatnot. So we'd be able to travel there and whatnot. And now you got something that's tangible in your hands, where it's not somebody telling you that you got a blue aura. You know what I mean? You've been on technology that shows you got a blue aura. And then hopefully you've done some type of energy work over the weekend or time that we're together, where you can test and measure, oh, it was blue, but now it's purple today after I did XYZ. Oh, I did that for the 3 days I was with him, and every time I went from blue to purple. That's something to really look at. It's something to measure, because now it's quantified, it's measurable. And now you can go out into the world and you don't have to question if you're doing something correctly or not, because you already got the results to show you that you know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And so if you need that, you want to inquire more, just hit me up, email me, it's cool. The nobleampu at Gmail. And then also right here, you know what I mean? Like, start looking into some of this stuff, man. You're gonna be blown away. Saint Benedict de Moore, Bernadette, the apparitions of Mary. Like, I had a question today I raised to someone, like, how can we really rule out a mystery God when the apparitions are appearing in different cultures? This ghost-like figure is appearing. Can we really rule it out? Or is it our subconscious thought that is creating it, unbeknownst to us? Because here's the kicker. The apparition has appeared to a child who don't have the conscious understanding of Mary and have no devotion and ties to Mary, but yet the Marian apparition is appearing. So how is that a reflection of the thought? Or, how's it even the subconscious thought of the child if they don't even have that base knowledge to even know who Mary is? They haven't practiced anything yet. You see what I'm saying? So now that's appearing, and that's just a question, a good question to really think about in a sense. What is this all about? Or is it a thought form from somebody else that is materializing into a person's life? But here's the thing with, if we're going to call the apparition a thought form, this apparition speaks your native language and is giving you instruction. And it's telling you, hey, tonight I want you to come back at 11 o'clock and I want you to dig in this spot right here. I want y'all to look into this story. Look into the Lady of Guadalupe. Go look into that story on how the Lady of Guadalupe appeared. All right. I think it appeared to Angelo Cortez, if I ain't mistaken. I forget his name, but man, you're gonna be amazed. He walking through the field and hear these, hear like some bird sounds or whatever, and then he see the apparition of Mary, and then she tell him, hey, go tell your bishop that I want him to build a church to me. He go tell the bishop, I just saw Mary. She said build a church, and the bishop like, man, won't you bring me back a sign so I can really know that this is real? And so he goes, he's supposed to go back. He went back and she like, okay, we'll come back tomorrow. I'm gonna give you something. And to show him. And he don't go back because his uncle was sick. So he was actually spending the day looking for a priest and for his sick uncle. But the apparition appeared to him like, dude, I thought I told you to come back. And he was like, man, my uncle was sick. I've been looking for a priest. And she was like, your uncle's gonna be all right. He's well now. Am I not the mother of you all? Blah, blah, blah. And then come to find out, when he saw his uncle was like, man, I was damn near dead. And this woman, like the Virgin Mary, appeared to me. The Lady of Guadalupe. That's what she said her name was. You know what I'm saying? She appeared to me and I got better. And so when she appeared to the nephew and was like, your uncle was good. Now I need you to meet me at the spot. He go to the spot, and this is like December the 12th in the middle of the winter. He go to the spot. Well, it ain't the winter yet, but it's cold. December 12th. He go to the spot, and there's roses in full bloom at this spot. And roses don't even grow here. So he take the roses, take that over to the bishop and let him know. Go take it to the bishop. And then the bishop see it, and then all of a sudden the apparition is glowing on the dude's, clothing and whatnot. And that's how he knew it was indeed an authentic apparition from Mary and whatnot. And now they tell you they tested the fabric and everything of the painting of her and stuff. And they don't know the origin of this stuff. And then one of the things is made, like, I think out of an agave plant, a cactus, and it only got a shelf life of like 15 years. And this thing has still been preserved over 500 years, man. Which leads me to something called the incorruptible bodies. Saint Charbel and them, Benedict the Moor. These people are so much in union with the G-force inside of us, the divinity, the God within, the Christ within, that when they die, their body shows no form of decay. It's called incorruptible bodies. They're way over, like, if you go look at a list of uncorruptible bodies, you're going to be amazed. So now here's the kicker. These things, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, they're not African. And that's not a knock. But I'm saying that to say this. You have to be real careful on how we're going to understand the white man is the devil. You got to be real careful on how you're going to perceive that. Because here it is, you got some white people, men and women, telling you to believe in God, or the Bible is a poison book, whatever the case may be, right? But yet when they die, their body is still in the exact same condition. But when you die, you turn into bones. Like, nah, nah. So the force, the power does not care about race. Clearly, it don't care about that. So I'm just gonna say it. Everything has its time, and you're in a different space and time, and we just gotta upgrade where we at, identify what the truth is, and get going. Cause we ain't really got time to waste. You know what I'm saying? Cause we down here with amnesia. We don't remember certain stuff. You know what I mean? We don't know why we here. We can't remember each other's from past lives. Some of us been doing this thing with each other over and over again. We can't even understand the coincidences. We just think it's just a coincidence that, you know, we happen to, see the same thing or whatever the case may be. And it's something that's way more meaningful that's getting to the soul's development. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, man. I'm gonna read this book for a minute. I'm gonna walk the grounds and get some divine inspiration. I just wanted to share with you guys this beautiful, beautiful space. You may, hey man, you may Google around and see if you got Lady of Lourdes by you. You know what I mean? You may have one in your backyard. You know what I mean? Lady of Lourdes, but I'm gonna tell you what a game is. The Catholics, they got it. So it may be some type of Catholic ground around you that may got the saints that's there. I challenge you to, it's not a bad challenge, but I just challenge you to start look into some of the things I said today, especially Saint Benedict de Moore. Go watch that. Go watch that on 99 Catholics on that channel. Watch that quick little tutorial on Saint Benedict de Moore. You're gonna see two of them: Saint Benedict healing, and Saint Benedict over the demons. You're gonna see that, and look into that, and then look into a quick Saint Charbel, and then you got so many women that was just phenomenal. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm about to work on this piece called Catholic Saints and Nigga Demons. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Listen, man. I'm gonna say two things about this. Probably three. One is the Cabrini Green projects in Chicago, the infamous war zone, the Cabrinis. That was named after Mother Cabrini. Look her up. She done great work in all throughout the world, but specifically in Chicago, she done great work. In fact, if you go study the Sacred Heart of Jesus in Colorado with Mother Cabrini, they used to have to get their water all the way down at the mountain. And the legend is she struck a rock and water started to come up there. And people to this day get water from that place right there. And that's a fact. Like, and that's Cabrini. But somehow when we got into the projects of the Cabrini Greens, we turned it into a war zone. And as a kid, when I lived in Chicago, I've been to the Cabrinis, and I know everybody know what the projects with piss smell like and all that stuff. We've been there. It's a war zone, right? You look at Bishop Magic Don Juan. Hey, salute. I ain't gonna say you ain't cool. I come from the culture. I was a strip club guy, managing them, and I agree it's not pimping. You know what I mean? I don't want it, but Bishop pimping. That's weird. And then we'd be like, church, tabernacle, as if it's cool, right? When you look at Bone Thugs, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, this St. Clair. St. Clair. What? Man, St. Clair is she's one of those, she's a saint that done miraculous things. St. Clair. You know what I'm saying? When we say, Ouija, are you with me? More money, more murder. Like, more murder. And then it turns into that devilish talk, the Ouija. And they give you like this demonic type of vibe. and whatnot. And I ain't saying the brothers is demons. I'm just telling you about the thought force. Just look at the contrast here. And they was representing East 99 and St. Clair. And so I can go through hip hop, and I'm working on it now. I can go through it and I'm like, God damn. What happens to the culture when we get like something that was sanctified and worked for completely force of light? When we get it, it turns dark. I just got to be honest about it. It turns dark. You know what I mean? And I want to shine the light on that a little bit. You know what I mean? Because that got to change. You know what I'm saying? That got to change, man. All right. So anyway, nice seeing you, man. I appreciate you guys. I'm probably gonna make a podcast. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I'm gonna get with y'all real soon, man. If you need me, hit me up. Email me. I'm at nobleampu at Gmail, right? Yeah. At Gmail. All right. All right, man. I get with y'all. I don't know how to turn this thing off from my phone, though. But this is weird. But yeah, I get with y'all, man. All right. All right.